Howdy folks, Frank KG6NLW here, and today we're talking about not one, but two of these radios. Stick around and find out what's on the chopping block. Alright, howdy folks, again Frank KG6NLW here. And today we're going to be talking about the Baofeng UV5R Mini. Yeah, that's right. The very well disputed Mini. I'm not going to do any testing of them because, well, there's videos up here in one of these corners. They'll take you to a whole playlist of who tested what and where. I'll let you decide if they're clean or not. But today we're just going to go over, I've been using them for, yes, it's a 2-pack. I've been using them for a bit here. I absolutely am enjoying the ease of programming compared to original Baofeng radios. If you watch my previous video, I'll link up here somewhere, about the UV32, I mentioned these are so much easier to program than they used to be. And that holds true with the minis as well. But what I'm going to show today is what they come with and how easily they operate. I'll also have a few other videos on how to do programming from the front panel. Nice and easy, I will say. I will also show you how you can program from your phone. Also nice and easy. And then I think the last video will be, well, I'll leave it a surprise. But for now, I'll show you what comes in the box. What was in the box? So I forgot to bring a few of the items out into the field, but I will mention them here as I go along. This is what you get in the Baofeng UV5R Mini case, or kit. You get either one radio or two, depending upon which set you buy. Links down in the description below. But you get this nice long lanyard, and I love this because I can hang this radio around my neck and not have to worry about, oh, is it attached to my hip? Is it attached to my bag? Whatever. No, it's right there around my neck. It's easy to grab, easy to use. And of course, the connecting piece that you have to install on the radio, but nice and easy to do. Of course, you know, the radio itself, can't do much without that. You get this nice little lithium-ion battery. It is a 1600 milliamp hour battery. Charge top voltage is 8.4 volts, and it's 11.84 watt hours. The great thing about it is USB-C. Yeah, nice little USB-C right there. And the charging light right on the battery. Of course, the belt clip attaches right to the battery, clips on, and holds on very well, even over bumpy terrain on a bicycle or whatnot. It really holds on very well there. So you got that, and then you have this little antenna. Now, I will say I was back and forth with Sherry over at Radio Oddity, and she was back and forth with Baofeng. While, yes, this is for 136 through 174 and 400 through 520, so VHF, UHF. I would not use this antenna for prolonged times with the radio, as right in this area between my two fingers on it, it gets rather warm to the touch, and it will extend up the longer you transmit. Howdy folks, future video editing Frank here, and here are a couple images courtesy of the Smokin' Ape showing the internals of this antenna. Enjoy! So consider this an effective dummy load. It works, but I wouldn't use it for long periods of time. If anything, I would go out and I would replace it with the Radtel RD371. That's the Romeo Delta 371. It's a bit bigger, or yeah, it's a bit bigger. It is technically a tri-band antenna. It is VHF, 2 meters, 220, and UHF. So it covers 3 bands, and of course, as you know, leave no band behind. So I would use this bigger antenna that's almost about the length of it's actually the exact length of the lanyard. So I would use that over this little stubby antenna any day of the week. And I will do some signal reports in another video, and you'll hear the difference between the two of them. But for today, we're just talking about what comes in the box.
What's in the box?
Well, these 4 items, plus a charging cable, plus a manual, and you get a nice little ready-to-go radio. Now, of course, if you get the 2-pack, you get 2 of everything. So, for me, it was the 2-pack, and there you go. Nice and easy. These radios are real easy to put together. You literally just slide the battery in like that, and it comes out just as easy. It has a little latching point right here, comes in and out. Nice and easy. As long as you personally line things up properly. Boom. Just like that. Problem solved. All together, nice little radio. The screen is relatively clean looking. You may not be able to see that here on the display, but even in full sunlight, it is relatively easy to read at certain angles, I will say. But I can easily see that I have VHF simplex on top and VHF or UHF simplex on the bottom here, and I can see that one's channel 1 and the other is channel 2.
Howdy folks, Future Frank here, doing the editing stuff, and I noticed that the screen, as I figured, was hit and miss in the field for display purposes. So I am going to sit here and show you how well the screen displays indoors. So this is the Baofeng Mini UV5R, and this is the indoor screen, and how easy it is viewable, and you can easily tell where you're at with things. I just wanted to do a quick little video inside so that you could see how nice and clear that screen is, and how well the top band and bottom band show up for you. And I'll even take that out of memory mode there, and you can see it shows up just fine. If I go up in channels, you can see it looks just fine to me, and it works indoors and reasonably well outdoors.
Built in, of course, you have to have the flashlight, and that is activated using this center blue button. You have your steady on, your flashing, and off. Nice and easy. And granted, it is daylight out, but I have used this in nighttime conditions, and that is relatively bright for a small space, all things considered, in nighttime conditions. This lanyard is also relatively strongly hooked in. They picked a good hook that I'm pulling relatively hard here for me, and that's not coming out at all. So that's nice and easy to stay in there, and it's equally as easy to detach when you need it to detach. I will say this, I've taken this out on a few rough, bumpy roads, hooked around my neck, and it just swings there. It just swings, and stays right where it's supposed to, and even if I had it clipped to part of the bike or whatever, it bounces around all right, and you don't lose any part of the radio. I've dropped this radio a handful of times now, both intentionally and unintentionally, and it still works great as it always did. Now, last things I want to point out here. It has your standard K connector, 3.5 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter for speaker and mic jack. It does not have anything under this smaller side below the mic speaker jack, the K connector, so that's just to hold it on, so be careful when you're working with that. You have VFO-A, VFO-B, and then a squelch or whatever random button you want to assign the third button to. VFO in memory, A and B, your menu button, exit button, menu up and down, all the DTMF keys work just fine. And I would say, quite honestly, this is a great radio for the size and cost. Now, you're probably screaming at the screen now, Frank, what about the spurious emissions? Is it spuriously clean? Well, as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to link something up above, and I will have it linked in the description to a series of videos between Josh over at Ham Radio Crash Course and The Smokin' Ape, as well as Mark at Soda Plus with Dr. Doug, showing are these radios clean or not. With all that being said, I hope this video finds you well. I hope you have learned something new about these radios that you might not have known before. And if you want to get one, link along with a slight discount is in the description below, as well as an affiliate link to Amazon. So help the channel out if you want to get 1 or 2 or 10 of these. Until next time, 73 and pod on, y'all.